Hey guys, this is a collection video I have wanted to do for a very long time, since I first put my YouTube channel up, and I've had a couple requests to do it, so here it is. This is going to be my Atari 2600 collection. I'm currently sitting at between about 295 to 298 games, almost hit that 300 mark. All kinds. I've got homebrews, I've got a few rare games, nothing super duper rare, nothing worth a lot, but still, this is definitely my favorite console of all time, because this is what I grew up with when I was a kid and I played the most. So let's get started. First we're going to go over, I'm going to show you some of my box games and homebrew games. So first is, I've got a copy of a homebrew called Reflex. Unfortunately, this is an unlicensed copy. This gentleman started making these, and I guess the creator of the game found out and shutting down. But still happy to have it because it's actually really cool. It plays a lot like Super Breakout, but instead of moving the paddle back and forth, you can go all around the screen to hit it. So it's actually a pretty cool game. Next is it's kind of a prototype that someone found. I'm not sure if it was ever released. They thought it was, and somebody made cartridges for it in limited quantity, so I picked one up. This is Red Sea Crossing, and yes, this is the story of Moses. Next is another one I found on Atari Age that was released a while back. It is Power Lord's Quest for Volcon. I believe this was an Odyssey 2 game that they ported to the Atari 2600. Next, this one always cracks me up when I see it. It was released extremely limited quantities. It was kind of a joke, but it's still kind of funny. That game is Pooh. Yes, Pooh. And it actually comes with, you've got the manual. This is number 8. And it actually came with some fake doggy doo, which is kind of funny as well. Next is another homebrew that was released this year, and maybe it was last year. It says 2013 on it. It's actually a pretty fun game. That is Endless Snow. And there's the graphics for it. Okay. I was very happy that Atari Age re-released this. They got the permission from Ed Fries, the guy who designed this game. Yes, he's the same that works for Xbox or Microsoft. That is Halo 2600. I got a complete in-box copy for it. Actually, it's a pretty cool looking game as well. I mean, for an Atari 2600. Here is another homebrew that was released. 250 of these were released. It was kind of pricey when I bought it. It was $80. I believe this now goes for about a couple $100 just because it was so limited, and it's such a great game as well. That is Boulder Dash. Yeah. For an Atari 2600 game, it's pretty crazy how good the graphics are for it as well. The final Atari 2600 game homebrew that I have is Extraterrestrial. This was a super limited edition that was released from Canada. They found it. I think it's Canada only game. And a video game museum actually found this and was able to get it and release it in limited quantities as well. That is Extraterrestrials. It is also a complete in-box copy. Unfortunately, it's not a really good game. I'm just going to keep it because I thought it was kind of cool to get. So yes. Here are a few just box games that I have in my collection. We've got US Games Towering Inferno. We've got Activision Space Shuttle. I got a beat-up copy of Dodgem. Let's see here. We've got a sealed copy of Robot Tank. One of my personal favorites, that is Keystone Capers. And my personal favorite game is Pressure Cooker. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you some of my some of the hardware that I have. Alright, first up is my Atari 2600 Junior. Nice little system. I actually play most of my 2600 games on a 7800, which I'll show you in the upcoming weeks. I'll be doing a 5200 and a 7200 or 7800 collection video as well. Next we've got a Coleco Gemini, which is a 2600 derivative. And my last one of the original hardware, I've got a Sears Telegames Heavy Sixer. I also have a couple newer systems that came out in the last few years. I bought this one specifically to get it modded. This version allows you to cannibalize a non-working 2600 system and put a cartridge slot in it, and you can actually have this system with AV. It's the Atari Flashback number 2. This is the one that I bought specifically to do that with. Then I also have a complete and boxed version as well that I picked up a while back as well, like at a flea market for a few bucks. Alright guys, now we're going to be going through just a ton of cartridge games that I have in my collection. Let's get started. There'll be a few pauses in the video while I have to go get more, so I'll cut that stuff out. Here's some of my data age games. We've got Airlock. We've got Bugs. Encounter at L5. Snake. And Journey Escape. Here are some of my Sega branded games. We've got Thunderground. One of my favorites. This is the Buck Rogers game. Spy Hunter. The Star Trek Strategics Operation Simulator. Congo Bongo. Subscan. TAC-Scan. Here is, I think this is a Milton Bradley game. This is Survival Run. We've got Skeet Shoot. We've got a couple Spectravision games. We've got Planet Patrol and Gangster Alley. This is Space Chase. Not a great game, but I just have a lot of memories playing this when I was a kid. And these are Apollo cartridges. We've got two versions of Space Cavern. We've got the blue and the red variation. I've got Shark Attack. I have Wabbit. Infiltrate. And Racquetball. Here are my Atari Red Label cartridges. We've got Secret Quest, Sprint Master, Junior Pac-Man, Crossbow, Midnight Magic, Dark Chambers, Solaris, Donkey Kong Jr., Gravatar, Radar Lock, Desert Falcon. I'll try to get through these as quickly as I can. This is Cubert and Mousetrap. Next, I've got some Intellivision / M Network cartridges. We've got Super Challenge Football. I absolutely hate these cartridges just because they don't stack very well. I've got Adventures of Tron, Astro Blast, Space Attack, International Soccer, Frogs and Flies, Kool-Aid Man, another one of my personal favorites, Lock and Chase, Armor Ambush, Baseball, Air Raiders, Burger Time. Great game, not really good on the 2600, unfortunately. This is Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man, and Tron Deadly Discs. Okay, next are my 20th Century Fox games. We've got, or actually it's CBS and 20th Century Fox. This is Solar Fox, Gorf, Turmoil, MASH, Tunnel Runner, Blueprint, Mountain King, another one of my personal favorites. I had this cartridge when I was a kid. That is Flash Gordon, Alien, Megaforce, Omega Race, another really fun game, Wizard of War, Bank Heist, Porky's, and Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. I have got a few video tech games. We've got Word Zapper, Space Jockey, Sneak and Peek, Commando Raid. Here's a few more Tiger Vision games, or actually these are Tiger Vision games, the others are Spectravision games. We've got Miner 2049er, I've got Springer, we've got Threshold, King Kong. Now, I'm not sure what company this is. It looks like these might be more 20th Century Fox games. We've got War 1, got Beanie Bopper, and Fast Eddie. Got a couple Epix games. We've got California Games and Winter Games. Love these on the Commodore 64, especially with the summer games. These are some of my favorite games when I was a kid. I've got a couple Telesys games. I've got Fast Food, which is a pretty fun game. And I've got Cosmic Creeps. Here are some of my Coleco branded games. We got Donkey Kong, Carnival, Donkey Kong Jr., Frontline, Mousetrap. This is one of the variations I was talking about. There's a red label which I own as well. Zaxxon. Another one of my favorites. This is Venture. Mr. Do. And Smurf Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. Got a couple of Absolute Entertainment games. We've got Skateboarding and Title Match Pro Wrestling. Next, I've got some US games. This is Egomania. Here is Mad, Gopher, Entombed, and here is Piece O' Cake and Raft Rider. Here is Big Bird's Egg Catch, Alpha Beam with Ernie, and Pigs in Space starring Miss Piggy, and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Alright guys, we're going to start with the label variation games that I have. I've got quite a few. That also includes the Sears Telegames in these as well. There's going to be some when I get to the end of this that I'll show you individually games that I'll have variations of, but it's possible some of these games from Sears to the Atari versions may be variations. I just don't know them because of the names. Sears was notorious changing some of the names, and if you didn't really know what's going on, you don't know that it's the same game. So first, I've got 3 copies of Combat. I've got a picture version. I've got the text label. The reason I showed you the end, as you'll see here. I also have this version. This is the actual first Combat, or some of the first games that came out for the Atari in 77, 78. How you know is they were actually numbered on the end of them. You see it says 01 on it. They came in gatefold covers. I'd love to get some of these because they're really nice. They're really heavy duty as well. Alright, next I've got 3 variations of Space Invaders. We've got the text label. I've got the Sears Telegames version. And I have got the picture version. Next I have 2 versions of Berserk. We've got the picture version. And I've got the Sears Telegames version. Next, I've got 2 Pac-Mans. Again, we've got the picture version and the Sears Telegames version. I've got 2 versions of Asteroids, picture version and Telegames. See, I have 2 of the Indy 500s. Again, this is the picture version and the text label version. Okay, I have 3 versions of Home Run. Again, we have the text label. This is the 1978 picture version. And this is the 1988. Yes, that's correct, 88. Label version. This actually came out in 1988. Next, we've got 3 versions, and I'm pretty sure you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I've got a Telegames version. I'm pretty sure that it's the same. This is Outlaw. I've got a text label. We've got the picture version, and like I said, this is the Sears Telegames. I am almost positive Gunslinger is Outlaw. Okay, I've got 2 versions of Maze Craze. You've got the Atari version, and this is called Maze Mania for Sears Telegames. The reason you can tell, if you probably can't see it at the very bottom there, it says a game of cops and robbers, and if you look at this, you'll see the same thing. Okay, for Defender, again, I've got 2 versions. We've got the Atari picture version, and we've got the Sears Telegames version. Alright, I've got 3 different adventure cartridges. We've got the text label, we've got the picture label, And we've got the Sears Telegames version. Okay, we've got 2 copies of Othello, Atari Picture, and the Telegames version. And like I've said, I don't always go out of my way to find the variations. If they fall in my lap, great. If not, then I'm not worried, because I'd like to at least have 1 copy of the game just so I can play it. We've got 2 copies of Basketball, the Atari Picture version, and again the Sears Telegames version. Again, I think these are the same game as well. This is Dodge 'em, the Atari version. This one's called Dodger Cars. I think it is. It's Sears Telegames. Not 100% though. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Got 2 versions of Night Driver, the Atari Picture and the Atari text label. Okay, Air Sea Battle, 2 variations. We've got the Atari Picture and the Atari text label. I've got 3 variations of the bowling game. We've got the Atari Picture version, the Atari Text, and the Sears Telegames version. Okay, and the last group, I have 3 football games. We've got the Atari Text label, the Atari Picture, and again, the Sears Telegames version. Now let me show you some of the cartridges I have on the individuals of. They may be variations of these, I just don't have them. We've got Blackjack. Another one of my favorites, Haunted House. Space War. Super Breakout, another really cool game. Street Racer. Casino. Superman. Slot Machine. Slot Racers. Video Olympics. Skydiver. Pele Soccer. Backgammon. Miniature Golf. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Basic Programming. Surround. Breakout. Another really cool game, Star Raiders. Golf. Video Pinball. Video Chess. Human Cannonball. Missile Command. Another really cool game. Another really cool game is Warlords. Demons to Diamonds. Probably one of my favorites, Yar's Revenge. Circus Atari. Brain Games. And Starship. Here are a few Sears Telegames versions I have. We have Pong Sports. We have Tank Plus. This is probably Combat. This is Capture. This is Speedway 2. Breakaway 4. This probably might be Breakout. This is Auto Racing or Race. This is Target Fun. This might be Air Sea Battle. And Space Combat. Alright, now I'm going to show you the Silver Label Atari games that I have. Actually, before we do that, I found a couple other games that are Sears games. We've got Math Grand Prix. We've got Soccer. We've got Hangman, or their version spelling, and Outer Space. Okay, now let's get to those silver labeled games. We've got Real Sports Football, Pole Position, Crawl, another one of my favorites, Dig Dug, Vanguard. Great commercial. If you ever want to look on YouTube for a really cool 80s Atari commercial, look this one up. It's hilarious. We've got Taz, Sword Quest Fire World, Phoenix, Battlezone, another really cool and really good looking game as well. Another really fun game, we've got Moon Patrol. A really beat up copy. I'd like to find a new version, a new copy of this because it's so bad. Crystal Castles. Yes, the legendary E.T. This is Real Sports Soccer. Miss Pac-Man, a really good version. Millipede. Another really unique game. This is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Another cool game, at least the arcade. This one's not so. It's Joust, good version. Mario Brothers, Centipede, Sword Quest Earthworld, Jungle Hunt, Stargate, Kangaroo. We've got Tennis. Another good game, Galaxian. And Real Sports Soccer Football. Here are a few miscellaneous games. I've got Sorcerer. Then I have some Froggo games. I've got Sea Hunt, Karate, Cruise Missile, Task Force, Seahawk, and Spider Droid. Now I've saved the best for last. Now we're going to do my Parker Brothers games. I have Sky Skipper, Strawberry Shortcake, Empire Strikes Back, Warplock. Oh, this is an actually Data Age game. This is Warplock. We have Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle. This is Star Wars Jedi Arena. We have Reactor, Super Cobra. We have, do this one first, Frogger. And Frogger 2, 3 Deep's Revenge. We have G.I. Joe, Spider-Man, Hubert, Amadar, James Bond 007, Popeye, and a beat-up copy of Montezuma's Revenge. Alright, here's a miscellaneous game that I just found, Canyon Bomber. And finally, my favorite games of all the Atari games. This is the company that I try to collect for and get any games that I see that they make. I try to buy them if they're for a decent price. And of course, that's Activision. Some of those games, we've got Rampage, River Raid, Checkers, Fishing Derby, Private Eye. Pretty cool game. It actually looks pretty good on the Atari. Kung Fu Master. Ghostbusters. Decathlon. Sequest, I really like this one too. Plaque Attack. Pretty much what happens to these cartridges. Or the labels. Space Shuttle, I got a loose copy of this just so I can play it if I want to. I don't have to mess with the box copy. Hero. Skyjinx. Boxing. Skiing. Commando. Stampede. Tennis. Another one of my favorites, Dolphin. Enduro. Chopper Command. Mega Mania. Spider Fighter. Barnstorming. Laser Blast. Star Master. Pitfall 2. Pitfall. Oink. Kaboom. Freeway. Another one of my favorites, Keystone Capers. This is a loose copy just in case I want to play it. And Frostbite. Just recently started playing this in the last few years. I didn't play it back in the day. I really enjoy this game as well. Alright guys, finally, this is the last couple cartridges that I have. I've got some Activision games that were released from other companies. We've got a blue variation of Grand Prix. And I've got Atlantis. It was originally released by Magic, which is going to be the next cartridges I'm going to go through. Alright, let's get to my Magic cartridges. We've got Riddle of the Sphinx. Atlantis. Demon Attack. Trick Shot. One of my personal favorites, Cosmic Arc. No Escape. Star Voyager. Dragonfire. Solar Storm. Laser Gates. Firefighter. And finally, Moonsweeper. Alright guys, that lengthy video is my Atari 2600 collection, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I should break these long, large videos up, or if you just rather watch them all at once. Come back probably next week. I'll probably try to do a Atari 5200 video, and then after that probably Atari 7800 collection video. Don't have a lot of those, so I may combine them. We'll just have to see how it goes. Well guys, thanks again for watching.